This is the plaintiff, William Casey Jr. He says he purchased an exercise bike from the defendant, and the one he received wasn't the one she advertised. It was an older model. He told her to come pick the old thing up and refund his money, but she refused and told him to sue her. So he is suing her for $500, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Teresa Mancini. She says the plaintiff got an excellent deal on the bike, which is valued at $4,000, and shouldn't be complaining because he knew it was used and not new. At this point, this case is about principle because she's not willing to give him a full refund when she gave him such a good deal in the first place and the bike is in like-new condition. She's accused of false advertising.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff bought an exercise bike and the defendant did a bait and switch on him. But the defendant says the plaintiff got a great deal. It's the case of don't pedal your wonky bike.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Casey,
Yes, ma'am.
you purchased online on Craigslist a recumbent bicycle from the defendant, correct?
That's correct.
Do you have the advertisement?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it?
Just a second.
And
ma'am.
you had been in the market for a recumbent bicycle because what had just happened?
Well, I had several surgeries to my back.
Okay.
And I have as a physical therapist who recommended that my wife and I purchase one of these. That's why I...
Because a recumbent bike is very, very low stress on the back or no stress on the back.
Exactly.
Because you're sitting back. That's what
Exactly.
recumbent means. You're kind of sitting back and then pedaling like
Well,
you're...
and also moving your arms.
And moving
Just-
your arms.
Just like that.
All right.
And as you can see, that was the Craigslist image. It said it was new, and it showed its console where...
Condition new. PhysioStep LXT recumbent cross trainer. Perfect for rehab. Increasing mobility. All right. So you contact her and you negotiate a price of $500.
That's correct.
And what happens? You send her the $500, she delivers the bike.
That day she brought the bike over, she sent me an owner's manual of that bike that you see there.
With that model number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then when she got there, it was an older bike. I told her it was an older...
How did you know it was an older bike?
Just looking at it, ma'am.
You mean it was used or you mean it was a different model?
It said the same model number, the LXT, but you could tell it was an older model. It didn't have the outputs that I needed.
Okay, hold on one second. When you say you could tell it was an older model, was it the model that was advertised or was it not?
No, it was not the model that was advertised.
Was it a PhysioStep LXT recumbent cross
Yes.
trainer, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then how was it advertised differently than what you expected?
Well, it was an older bike, ma'am. You just looked at it on the monitor, okay?
What is this document right here?
That is part of the Craigslist.
Okay.
That's the console.
All right,
It's the
so she
console.
advertised that it would have all these things and you put these words in here? Or she put those words in there?
That's my scratching.
Okay, was this part of the ad, this picture?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, no problem. Did you tell her on the spot, wait a minute, this is an older model, this isn't
Yes.
what I... And did you tell her, wait a minute, this isn't new, this is a used bike?
Yes.
And what did she say?
She said she tried to convince me that it would fit my purposes and to try it. And she reassured me with the statement that if I was unhappy, she would come and pick it up and return my $500.
Okay.
And I stupidly enough gave her the money in cash.
Rather than reject the bike.
That's correct. Because
Okay.
I thought if it would work, fine, it would work.
Why didn't you just tell her you can come back tomorrow for the money if I think it'll work?
I'm stupid, ma'am.
Okay, all right, well, you know what? That is the first time I have received that answer, and I'm gonna run with it, and I am not gonna say another word to you about how dumb that was. All right, so you went online, and I guess you downloaded the image and used that image. This is a $3,295 bike new. You advertised it as new, but it wasn't new, right?
Right.
So we know at least that much. I don't know if it's an older model or not, because where you put the words USB port is where there's a button that says programming. I have no idea if there should be a USB port. I don't know whether this is not the right model. So I don't understand, but I don't really care because you advertise it as new. Why did you do that?
Okay, so that bike belonged to, both my parents were prescribed. They just recently passed away last year.
I'm very sorry.
And my brothers and I were getting all of this stuff. That was the last thing to go. And I didn't live where the bike was. So my brother sent me these. So I would know when I advertised it on Craigslist to get rid of it, this is the model that it is.
Okay.
So I didn't have a picture of someone using it. So I copy pasted
Right.
and told him when I got there, it's not obviously a new bike. It's dusty. I even told his wife, I'm sorry about the dust. She's like, don't worry about it. I mean, I wasn't, now my brother said put new because my parents never used it.
Right.
That's where
That's false because new kind of it's really like new. But anyway, so you do talk to them, and according to him, you tell them, look, if you don't feel it works for you, I'll give you your money back. Correct?
At one point, I did, yeah.
And then why did you change your mind? Because at some point he did call you. How quickly did you call her?
I called her at 8:16 that evening.
Oh, the same day he calls you after he speaks to the manufacturer, finds out that this isn't what he thought it would be. Then what happened?
So I called when my husband and my brother both were giving me advice, and both of them were like, the sales.
Yeah, where are they right now?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, lesson. Okay, go.
Done. The sale is done. You don't need to answer his phone calls. The sale is
Well,
done.
they're just miserable people. That's not true.
Well,
You know, you have to go through to make sure that you completed the sale in an honorable fashion and that
Plus,
there
I
was
was
no
glad
false
it was going to
advertising.
be getting used by someone who needed therapy for his shoulder. In his case, my parents, their legs.
Right.
It wasn't collecting dust anymore.
No, I
You know what I
understand
mean?
that,
So
and that's all
Yeah.
fine and dandy. But if he doesn't want it, it's
Right.
time to drive back there, pick up the bike, and give him
Well,
back
he
his money.
negotiated with me. He said, I'll give you $100 for it. I said, well, it was originally almost $4,000. Let me ask my brother. My brother called back and said, that's insulting.
It is insulting.
No.
Is Craigslist dicey? What do you say?
I think it is. I think it's let the buyer beware.
How do you protect yourself?
I think you just got to really do your homework and make sure that you're buying it from a reputable person.
That's dicey right there, right? Going inside the courtroom.
You guys imposed on him a deal he didn't strike. At this point, he was willing to pay you only $100. That's insulting. I agree. It's a $4,000 bike. Go sell it elsewhere, because that's where the problem lies.
Right.
Instead of driving back and picking it up, then you just said, what? Well, actually, what did you say? You ended up sending him a money order.
I'll see you in court.
Okay, but you did send him a money order for $250
Yes.
at some point, trying to.
Because I felt like it wasn't as advertised and he wasn't happy with the deal.
Right, and that's sweet. That's more than most of my defendants do, but it's also not what he wants, and it's not what he negotiated.
Well,
yeah,
I-
you got to give the guy his money back. I mean, you have the money order still for the $250, right?
I'll give it back to her right
I'm
now.
going to order, no, keep it cash it, and I'm going to order her to pay the additional $250. And you should be recompensed the entire $500, yeah.
What I did when she gave me this $250 unsolicited, I wrote her a check for $250 and I sent it back to her.
Wait, what? I don't even understand what you're saying, let alone why you would do it, but go ahead. Did you cash her $250?
No, it was a money order, ma'am. You can't cash this. I could cash it for myself, but
Right, you can cash it for yourself.
but I can't give it back to her. So what I did was,
Of course you can mail it back to her, and then she can go to Western Union or wherever it came from, and she can do whatever. That's not your concern. But
No.
what did you do? You kept the money order, you didn't cash it, and you wrote another check for $250, so now you're out $750?
yes, and
Why though?
we
Because
felt
we were planning on cashing
we were
that.
planning
But
on
you
cashing
still
this.
haven't cashed it.
No, because when we came to court here, we
We had
thought we'd leave it
filed
open.
suit.
We
Yeah.
filed suit, and so
But why
here-
would you send another $250 to her? Did you get that or you didn't get that?
Well,
Do you have any evidence that check for $250? Please just stop. Do you have any evidence that check for $250 has ever been cashed?
No.
No.
Okay. Don't cash the check for $250. Got it?
I don't want his money.
No, I know. Okay? Cash the money order for $250.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm ordering you to pay an additional $250.
Thank you.
If for some reason you find out that that other check got cashed, please contact the court and/or put a stop payment on it.
Well, that's what we'll do.
Oh, goodness gracious.
How do I where's the bike gonna
You're going to have to pick up the bike, and we're going to make arrangements now to take care of that. Okay?
So my arrangement was free delivery because he
No,
he bargained
you will
down.
have to pay to pick up that bike. That'll be on you, sweethart. In fact, Because I'm finding you to be wrong, right? Because it was false advertisement. It may not have been intentional, but the manual you sent him has all kinds of things this bike that you sold him doesn't have. So no, you will have to go arrange to pick up the bike. In fact, I'm going to give you a time limitation. After that point, I am going to deem the bike to be abandoned. How long do you need to pick it up? I don't know how far you guys live, or...
I'll be home Saturday.
How long do you need? You want 2 weeks?
Sunday.
I'll give you 2 weeks.
Sure.
That way there's no question. All right, so if after 2 weeks she has not picked up the bike, hallelujah, it's your bike to sell or do whatever you're gonna do with it, all right? Everybody got me? Take care, folks.
So the plaintiff prevails. He will be made whole again, and right back where he started. Interesting, you needed your brother here and others to help you out in court.
I did, yeah.
They left you high and dry.
They did.
So, are you okay with the outcome?
No, obviously. But I did say I wanted to see what a judge would say, and
Now you know.
Now I know.
Now you know. Anyway, thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye. Well, Mr. Casey, you learned a hard lesson today.
Yep.
But never too late to learn a lesson, is it?
Well, the lesson I learned is don't pay cash until you're ready to take the bike, period.
Okay. Well, I hope you get the right one you're seeking.
We're looking on Craigslist, on eBay. We found several, but they're out of our price range, but we're still looking.
All right. Thank you very much. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Okay.
Thank you
Good
very
enough.
much.
You're very, very welcome. All right. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, best advice I could give is get pictures and the specs of everything you buy on Craigslist.